everyone, it's Nicole Duplicki, and I am going to go over not really my lesson plan because I did something a little bit different, and I created a module in our Canvas system, which is our LMS at Halifax. I did this for two reasons. One is for all my EdUspire classes, I am really adamant that when I create things, it is going to be real life things that I'm going to use in my class. So right off the bat, that was my main goal, that whatever I created for this lesson was going to be immediately able to be used in my class. Secondly, we just started using Canvas last year, and they just rolled over our new classes this week, and I thought, oh, this will be great because I can copy my class into it from last year. And while I was doing that, and I'll take you into my class here. I do have to update a few things, but I went into modules and I added a new module called Mindfulness in our classroom. So this is my home base at the top, and then all my systems, all my units below. But I added one at the top called Mindfulness in our classroom, and I'll just take you through. I have 4 weeks listed here, but I actually have 5 weeks because the overview would take place on the first week that I introduced this, and then we would have 4 weeks. I was really excited and was actually working on the next 2 weeks, but I kind of had to slow myself down because I wasn't really sure how my students were going to respond to what was going on, and also I wasn't even sure how I was going to like the discussion posts and the way that I have them reflecting. So I kind of wanted to get the 4 weeks in and then see where we were at before I added the additional weeks. So if you're wondering why I stopped short, and I'll kind of explain each one as I go. So first is the overview, and I made actually like a web page within Canvas, and I'm not going to read it word for word, but I explained why we're doing what we're doing and how we're going to do it. So the goal is to take 5 to 10 minutes, usually on what we're going to call a Mindful Monday. And if it's a short week where we don't have a Monday, we'd obviously do it on a Tuesday or pick another week depending on our schedule. I will have the students every day for half a year for this course. And then once we kind of work together through this practice, we will then be reflecting on it. So we will do some of that in class, but also they are going to be prompted to take a minute or two and also reflect through online assignments and discussion posts. And then at the end of each quarter, I kind of wanted something a little more concrete, and I was going to have them do a mindfulness reflection that would review the practices, introduce that quarter, and the overall experience. I didn't put that in the module yet, but it would be an assignment that I would put in that they could submit as a Google Doc or a Word document. What is mindfulness? I will be going over that with them, and I have resources here that they could click that would give them more information. And then why should we learn this in school? I found a really awesome TED Talk for students, and we will watch that in class. And then as the activity for the class, I'm going to have them get into groups and give them a topic regarding mindfulness, and they will brainstorm. And I created a Google Doc that they all can type into. They will all have devices. I believe they're getting Chromebooks this year from the school. So they'll have access, and just basically kind of looking at like what are some distractions already that they have, what are some activities that they already do that could be defined as mindful, and how are they currently handling certain situations. So that would be my very first lesson. And I don't anticipate it to take the entire class, although it might. The video itself is about 15 minutes, so until we do the activity, it would probably take a large majority of the class. So it would be the first week of school, we would be diving into this for one of our topics. And then the following week is, get into edit. It's kind of hard to see it because this isn't published yet. So I have to use the editing view here to kind of show you how I did this, but I really like the idea of showing them or talking to them and kind of taking them through finding this still quiet place. I really feel like that, along with the breathing, is just a core concept when we're doing any of these practices. And I love the way the article this week defined it. And I really liked even just reading through that. I did find this video with the author kind of guiding people through. I don't know that I would particularly necessarily use this one in class, but I posted the video because if someone was absent, they could get a similar experience by following along with that video. I think I prefer to play music and kind of talk to them and get them through that, and just kind of a short experience. And then at the end, I will have them answer a question, and I have them only answer to me directly because I feel like freshmen, it's their first week or two at school, and they're really, really nervous. I don't know how open and sharing they're going to be. So this is kind of time that they can, not be afraid to answer whatever they're thinking, but also I get to know them a little bit, and I get to read the responses and kind of see where we're at as far as maturity level and how they're handling all the material before we do the discussion post. So in their text box, they would basically think about when they could use the Still Quiet Place that week. And then back to the module, then week 2, I decided that I wanted to incorporate the other thing that the author talked about, which was that peace model. And again, I have to go into edit here so you can see it a little bit better. But I really like this video. It's Dan Harris, and he's narrating this animation about why mindfulness is a superpower. But I really feel like it takes the students through a situation which they're using, driving in a car and someone cutting you off, and just kind of taking them through the reaction and how a mindful person versus like an unmindful response, or mindless, I should say. And then I'm going to tie that into this peace model for kind of working through the difficult situations. I have the link to the article actually that we had in class that has that in, and so students could refer to that. To make it a little bit shorter, kind of cut some things out, so I did put that, I adapted it. And at the end, so my goal for this was that I'm going to really have them think of a current situation that they're dealing with that's a bit difficult, and they're just going to close their eyes. We're going to have some music on and just kind of take them through each of these letters and explain the whole process to them. And then at the end, they're going to kind of think ahead and maybe say which of the following acronyms or steps will be the biggest challenge and why. I mean, I picked this reflection because that's what I found when I was doing this. I mean, this is like such a perfect response, and it's like, wow, who does this? Like, I get to like hear and then I start losing it. So I definitely am probably not doing what I need to with C. So I just want to see what the students have to say in regards to that, like maybe where they think they could really work on all of this. So, okay, let me take you to the next one. Week 3, we will do mindful breathing. If you've been reading any of my posts, you'll know that this was one that I started the first week, and honestly, I don't think right now I could live without it. It's just incorporated throughout my day. It just started as like a morning routine, and it is just really just something I've been using every day throughout the day to reset. I've even been using breathing exercises to get myself in a place where I can actually do some of the other mindful practices, because I'm kind of too worked up to go from just where I'm at right now to the mindful practice. So I prefer to probably use a video for this one. I really like this 5-minute meditation, breathing meditation, but it does not have music, so I will be playing music in the background. I did add 2 other ones. This one right here is 10 minutes and it's guided. There's a guy's gentle voice going through. I like that one too. It's a little bit longer. And this one is just following the breathing pattern. And I thought this one was really interesting. It's really not for me, but I've tried it and I could see how it could help other people. It's just not for me. I don't like to follow breathing patterns. I get kind of weird about it, but I know other people really, really like that. So I put that on there as a resource also for the students. And then the reflection, now we're on a discussion board, so they will describe their initial reaction and how could they see themselves using it, could they see themselves using it, and then they need to respond to one of their posts. And the last one that I had created was the body scan, and I put this one right after the breathing because this one tied in for me a lot with the breathing, and so I thought this one would be really nice. Plus it's just so relaxing. Like I just felt so relaxed when I did this one last week. In fact, I was falling asleep when I was doing it. So this was one I thought I don't mind taking a little bit longer time. I did put multiple videos. These 2 right here are 10 minutes. This is my favorite one with Stephen Cope. But this one's a little bit shorter. I think this one's 6 minutes. No music. Some people don't like that. So I do have that one up there. For in my classroom, as long as time is not of the essence, I would plan to do my favorite one. And then I would just refer to the other 2 as resources. Again, if someone wasn't present or they want to try it at home. And then, I think I also put a link right here to find out more about body scans and why people would choose to do these. And then the reflection was to use the text box to describe their initial reaction, similar to the breathing, and what benefits did they get from it, and could they see themselves using it in the future, and then they have to respond to their peers. Okay, so that is what I have created for my class. I'm super, super duper excited to try this out in my classroom. And like I said, once I get to week 3 or week 4, I'll definitely be surveying my class to find out kind of where we're going to go as far as, do we like the discussion boards? Do we want to do more of an online journal or written journal and go from there? And I'd like to start switching it up. In fact, the next 2 I was working on was mindful eating and yoga, just to take a break from the meditative practices and then get back into that later. So, all right. Thank you for letting me share.